Last week I uploaded a video about the new Manucurist gel polish top coat called Extreme, this one. And as always, I believe in practical testing, so I did my mom's nails to compare the products properly. Both hands had the same preparation, identical base coat and 2 coats of color. On one hand, we applied the original top coat, and on the other hand, the new Extreme top coat. In the video, I shared a lot of practical advice. So as a professional nail technician of almost 30 years and a lot of experience with working with many different products and systems on the market, I focus on real honest results and I share them with you. Anyway, so if you are considering working with this type of gel polish, you will likely find this video helpful. At the end of the application, we noticed that neither top coat had a very good shine, so it didn't really look shiny after we applied the oil. And I did give the top coat 5 minutes to rest, and then it was shiny, but once we applied the oil, it kind of went a little dull. However, by the next day, both hands looked beautifully glossy, so there was no need to worry about the initial shine. We also filmed the results after 7 and 8 days to see how the product held up, how both of the products held up. And in this video, you'll see the surprising removal results, and I'm very curious to hear what you think and which top coat would you choose and why. Okay, 10 days are over and we have results of our test. This is Manucurist, but on both hands we did everything exactly the same, but on this hand we applied the original top coat and on this hand we applied the new top coat. I have to say, this one, the new one, was more shiny, more smooth maybe. And this one, after I would say 4 or 5 days, you could see a little wear on the free edges. Not much, not really what I would consider chips, but wear. And now it's been 10 days. The thumbs, and also let's consider another thing, that this is my mom's right hand, so she was using this one a little bit more, but as you can see here, also a little bit more shine. Now this little chip happened almost right away because my mom was putting harness on the dog, so this is what happened. The surface, I mean, does it look perfect now 10 days later? No, I mean, it's to be expected. This one is a little bit even less shiny. So I'm not going to test this for 3 weeks like they recommend, because I truly don't recommend it, and I don't want to ask my mom to wear it for 3 weeks and then end up with some surface damage. So we're going to remove it 10 days later and see how the removal is, what the difference is and how much longer it takes to remove it. So this one is supposed to be removed in 1 minute, this one 10 minutes. So I have, and I'm really sorry, I have the C&D clips. Doesn't really go with the brand, but I'm in the office, I'm not at the salon here, and I didn't have all my stuff, so I'm sorry. C&D, this is not C&D, this is Manucurist, and I only have 2, so I'm professional. So I'm going to use foil on the other nails, and this is actually good because this way we will see how the if there is a difference. Now I'm going to use the green flash like they recommend. So really this is ethyl acetate and alcohol. Pretty much, yeah, that's it. And I'm going to make sure, what is very important, to make sure that the little pad is fully saturated. And I'm going to open it. Sometimes they slide, so you have to be careful you don't slide it from the nail. And I'm going to start counting. All right, so it's supposed to take a minute. So truly, by the time I'm finished, probably it's going to be, the first one is going to be ready to be removed. I really do recommend doing one hand at a time. There's just no way you can do this properly. if I was using this more often, I would definitely put this in like a pump, so it's easier to dispense. Another very helpful tip is I'm using this foil that is actually much stiffer than the regular foil. That helps. Some of the foils are very, very flimsy, so the thicker foil just holds better. And very often when you're doing your own nails, sometimes something moves, something doesn't work, so then you try to fix the positioning of the foil. What I would recommend, just grab another foil, because once it's crimped, it's not going to you're not going to be able to close it tightly. This has a nice smell. It's been 1 minute and 43 seconds. Another thing, and I've seen it when I was watching the ads for the new Manucurist top coat, how the top coat comes off. And very often these things are tested when the top coat is just freshly applied. So anything that's freshly applied, this has been 2 minutes now. It's perfect. Like, this is wow removal, that I have to say. So I'm going to again do one nail at a time and then scrub it really well. What was I saying? Doing one nail at a time. And yes, you can't judge the removal by how the product removes when it's freshly applied. Because even this product, I used it on one of my clients, and I think she wore on her pedicure, and I think she wore it for like 3 months. It was impossible to remove. It's very difficult. Very impressive. So this probably should be done, yeah. Wow. So it leaves almost like a layer of, maybe that's a base coat or something. Incredible. That I have to say. So I'm very curious if you guys think, because a lot of people in the comment section, they were mentioning that the 10-minute removal is worth a week wear because nothing else for them lasts a week. But this lasts a week as well. So unless this removes as good, I have to say that I'm almost would be willing to sacrifice that little bit of shine to have this type of removal. Because the nails look really good. And the removal is very easy. Don't forget though that the prep also makes difference how the person wears the product. If they are very hard on their nails, that's going to be problematic. So this feels very wet. So I'm not like forcing anything off. This feels very wet. I would say the removal is fantastic of this product. Yeah, so of course the nails are going to be a little dry. So I'm going to put some oil. Well, it's just the temporary dryness from the removal, from the remover. It doesn't permanently dry out the nails, especially if you do this once every 10 days or something. I would recommend it once a week, honestly. Removing the product, it's going to be, yeah, just better. Okay, let's remove the product from this hand. Let's repeat the process, really saturating the little pad. On one hand, it's a little bit easier when you're doing someone else's nails, but on the other hand, you're not really feeling it as much, so it's a little bit more difficult. So I think on yourself, oops, yeah. Thank God I'm not wearing polish. I really gave it a lot of remover here. These are makeup remover pads. Oops, oopsie daisy. Makeup remover pads that I cut into 4. Oh, I forgot to time it. Hold on. Okay, start. Let's go. Stuck. Okay, so when the foils are applied, just make sure you don't move the fingers too much, because when you're moving them, you can loosen up. If one of them gets loose, what you want to do is you want to remove it and then reapply it, re-wet, just start from the very beginning, because very often my clients, if they moved something and something got loose, they just think that reapplication of the same foil is going to be okay. But no, because if you expose the cotton to air, it's going to evaporate and you're applying a dry cotton back on the nail, which is not going to do anything. So yes, you have to just then re-wet everything and start from the beginning. Okay, so we are at almost 2 minutes now, so we're going to give it another, we'll see, 5 minutes, and we can just peek at maybe one of the nails and see if it's removing, because it's been less than 3 weeks, so hopefully maybe 5-minute removal. If that removes perfectly in 5 minutes, then I would say I would test it for 2 weeks. That would be my maximum. I would not go more than 2 weeks with a gel polish. It's 5 minutes, so let's see. Almost, but not yet. I would have to force it off, which would not be good. So as I was saying, I'm going to reapply it, a new one. Okay, I applied this a little bit sooner, and I started timing a little bit later, so let's see how this is removing. Okay. So there, many times people would just force it off, but you know, it's risky, because you can just take one layer. This actually still feels pretty wet, so I'm gonna leave it on. But you can take one layer of the nail with it when this happens. Okay, this is good. So I have a feeling that these foils are a little bit better. They hug the nail a little bit better. But it's true that they're not as easy to apply when you're working on yourself. The nails are in a very good shape. Yeah, so it needs 10 minutes. And then it comes out very well. Compared to shellac, much better. That I have to say. Okay, let's see this one. You see what I did? This is how easy it is. I'm sorry to damage someone's nails, because the nail also is very filled with water, with the solvents, and it's very easy to peel the layers of the nail off. So this is the more flimsy foil. Sometimes this is what I do when I have clients that move their fingers a lot. I apply the foil. This is still, so you know, if you are not very light, well actually no, heavy-handed with the polish, then you might apply a little bit too much and then it's not going to come off as easily. It's a little silly to try to do that, but one damaged area is enough. It's forcing it a little bit off. So, very curious what you guys think. Yeah, now this came off. So don't forget, also, if you're doing one hand at a time, if you're doing this yourself, this is going to be 20 minutes plus the actual wrapping and unwrapping and pushing the product off. So the removal realistically will take you about half an hour. Yeah, if you're doing this yourself. So, you know, it's not going to be 10 minutes, really. So here you go. These are the realistic removal times. And I could show you, not today because we are doing the YouTube live soon, but another day if you're interested, even on my nail. I will apply the product and then I will soak it off right away, how much better it's going to come off, because that's how it is. When the product is fresh, it comes off much better. Yeah. Pros and cons, right? Everything has pros and cons. The smoother look comes with longer removal time. And that's just how it is. So I'm very curious what you guys think. What do you think about this removal and what your preference would be? But the end result is, I would say the same, except for, you see, there is a little bit of surface damage on this nail, like in this area and this area. Let me just zoom in and show you. This little area, just a little flake. And sadly, and here as well, sadly, these things add up eventually, right? So it's sometimes almost nothing when it comes to one manicure, but then if you do that every week or every 2 weeks, after a while, this is going to add up. And also, once there is a damage, that damaged area is going to spread over time, I noticed. So be careful that you don't force the product off and that you just rewrap it and wait longer if something is stuck and if it doesn't come off very easily. Okay, let me know what you think, and thank you so much for watching. See you soon. Bye.